Alright, what's going on you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be about the Tata Nexon EV right here. We are gonna take it out for a drive, talk about its features and see what it's like in the real world. So let's go and check it out. So this is the car right here. This is the top variant which comes with the sunroof. This facelift looks much better than the previous model. Nice bright pearlescent blue accents all over the car which shout out loud that it's a EV. Projector headlamps with DRLs, big fog lamps, and this particular design pattern is carried all over the car, even in the interiors. I'll show you in a while. Of course, the green number plate, zero emissions whatsoever. Nice white top with the sunroof. Nice 16-inch diamond cut rims. 215/60 section tires, EV badgings on the door as well, and the blue accents are carried on the sides as well. The regular Nexon has a white one, I guess. Clear tail lamp cluster, these look way better than the red ones. Reflectors in the back, and of course EV badging in the back as well. Ziptron badging and a premium Tata logo. Bold Nexon badging in chrome. And the ground clearance is pretty good, 205 mm. I've always liked the Nexon design, it's very aerodynamic, unlike other boxy Tata designs. And again, the white top is looking too good. There's the sunroof. Alright, let's open the bonnet and talk about its drivetrain. The latch is in the driver's foot well, just over here. And let's see if I can find the catch. There you go. And my apologies, it's a bit dusty. I was too afraid to clean it with water since it's not my car. Nonetheless, the motor and battery have a IP67 rating. EV Ziptron badging on the cover. Now the motor is a permanent magnet synchronous motor producing almost 129 PS of power and 245 Nm torque. It has a 30.2 kW battery pack stacked at the very bottom. Alright, so I am already on the road. Let's get inside the car, talk about its interior, features, and let's take it for a spin. So this is the key right here, lock, unlock, trunk opening and one for the lights. Tata logo on the other side. Let's unlock the car. It also has keyless entry. The build quality is amazing, the doors are nice and heavy. Let's get inside. Nice 7-inch TFT digital instrument cluster with full graphic display. You can see the power and regen on the left side. Battery indicator in the top left and a lot of information in the front. Leather wrapped steering wheel looks very premium. Lot of steering mounted buttons for infotainment control, voice command and whatnot. The dual tone beige and black interior looks very premium with nice piano black panels and same blue elements all over. Floating 7-inch touchscreen infotainment by Harman, which supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. 8-speaker system by Harman. The switch quality is pretty standard. There's the switch to adjust the ORVMs. The glove box switch is nicely hidden, and the glove box itself is surprisingly very big. It has cup holders, a document holder, pen holder, card holder, it has 2 shelves and whatnot. Now let's talk about the sunroof. Before that, here's the switch for the lights, and those are the 3 switches on top for the sunroof. You can open it partially just for ventilation or open it completely. It would have been great if it had a panoramic sunroof even as an option. Let's close it. The sunshade is manually operated. Now let's take a look from the outside. The AC vents are nicely designed, and just below that we have buttons for climate control. We have 12 volt power output, USB port. This is the gear knob. Just slide it to put it into drive, sport or reverse. It has two driving modes. Let's take a look at the rear view camera. The assisting lines turn when you turn the steering wheel, so that's nice. It also beeps and red lines pop on the screen when you're near an object. Storage behind the gear knob, just slide it open. Handrest also has decent amount of storage space. The leatherette seats are very comfortable. It has the same tri-arrow design all over. Blue stitching on the sides. And the cabin looks very bright and pleasant because of the sunroof. The rear seats look comfortable. Let's hop on and try the rear seats. Now I am 5'7" and I think people up to 6 feet can be comfortable. And there's a lot of headroom as well. You can see how it's curved. Legroom is decent as well. AC vents for the rear passengers. The design is carried on the door panels as well and nicely finished in piano black. The dashboard looks very impressive from back here. Usually this latch opens the fuel tank lid, but in this case it's opening the charging port. So this is the charging port. You just have to plug the connector into it. Let's open up the boot. It has a decent 350 liter boot space. There's the charger in the back. Regular 15 amp charger can charge the car in about 8 hours, and a fast charger can charge it up to 80% in just 60 minutes. We just have to plug this in, and this goes into a normal household socket. The spare wheel jack and other tools are nicely tucked inside like a normal car. Alright, enough of the features. Let's take it for a spin and see what it drives like. The engine start stop button is on the left side. Well, the motor start stop in this case. Let's put it into sport. You can see the reverse, neutral, drive, sport change indicator on the screen as well, so that you don't have to look down. And it's in sport mode, just the way I like. Whoa, a little bit of wheel spin. I didn't expect it to be that quick. Look how quickly it's up to speed. It can go 0 to 100 in 9.9 seconds. I wasn't expecting this car to be so quick. Let's take a U-turn over here. The steering is surprisingly very light. Lighter than the normal Nexon, I guess. The turning radius is also pretty good, considering this is not a small car. Alright, let's go on the throttle again. You can see the green and red indicator that it's in power right now, and while you are off the throttle it's in regen. That means it regenerates some amount of electricity, and the engine braking which you feel when it's in regen is also very good. It has single speed transmission, drives like a regular automatic. The brakes are also good, and suspension is on the softer side. This car tempts you to be on throttle all the time, but this will drain the battery pretty quickly. The cabin is very quiet, you can't hear much motor noise inside. Now let's talk about range. ARAI has claimed a range of almost 312 kilometers, but that's only on paper. The owner of this car tells me that he is getting a range of almost 220 to 230 kilometers on a single charge. That being said, you have to keep the air conditioning to a minimum and drive between the speeds of 40 to 60 kilometers per hour to get maximum efficiency. Well, I think it's a good range if you are planning to get it for daily commute or even short weekend trips nearby.
Fasten passenger seatbelt.
That being said, you might get range anxiety if you are planning a trip from say Mumbai to Pune, as the EV charging infrastructure is not really developed in India right now. It might take a few years. In a couple of years, we are going to see a lot of EVs on the road, and hopefully the EV charging infrastructure will also develop along with that. Next year the Ultros EV is being launched and I'm pretty excited to check that out. And surely we might think of getting the Ultros EV if it lives up to the hype. And special thanks to Amol Bhoir for letting me drive and review his Nexon EV.
Alright guys, that's it for today. Hope you guys like this video. If you are new, do subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!